Hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Rusty McCranie, and welcome to Weather Express. Your weather in 5 minutes. Start the clock. Friends, we have widespread showers and storms in the eastern half of the United States today. We have a wrapped up system moving along the west coast, and the most impactful weather today is going to be in the southern plains, and that's where we'll start this video. Mainly the panhandle of Texas and into west Oklahoma. As of the recording of this video, you're starting to see some of those supercells developing. We've had several tornadoes and gorilla hail in these areas the last couple of afternoons. I'm talking about hail 4 to 5 inches in diameter, bigger than softballs. You can clearly see in the loop of the last couple of hours here towards Amarillo, down towards Plainview. We've had several supercell thunderstorms developing. These storms at the hour in purple are producing tornado warnings. When I zoom in a little bit closer here, 4-inch size hail, destructive hail coming out of some of these storms, and they're just going to become more prolific and widespread the remainder of the day and into the evening hours. There is a tornado watch for these areas. The threats out of this watch, again, are very impactful. Hail 4 inches in size, maybe slightly larger. Again, softball hail, winds of over 70 miles an hour. And some of these storms could easily push into the southwest sides of Oklahoma here as we go into the evening hours as well. But again, earlier in the day, we actually had non-severe storms work their way into southern sides of Oklahoma, North Texas, and then these supercells are developing behind that as well. Now, when we look at the risk for the Storm Prediction Center, this is the area with the enhanced risk for today, 3 out of 5. Yesterday at this time, it was just a 1 out of 5 on the scale. But you notice again, there's generalized thunderstorms that are expected all the way through the southeast and into the northeast as well. So let's pick up that part of the story, because these storms are generally not severe in the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley in the northeast, but they're widespread. There is some locally heavy rain, some isolated flooding, ponding on roadways, absolutely possible. If we're going to get more significant storms, we'll follow this front back down to the south and to the east. It's these areas like East Tennessee, northern Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, all the way to New Orleans. You can see in the last couple of frames a couple of red polygons indicating severe storms. So that line is pretty healthy right now, back into southern sides of Louisiana, Mississippi, into northern sides of Alabama and Georgia. Florida, which desperately needs the rain, is going to stay dry. We're actually pretty dry and quiet in the central and the northern plains as well. And then back out to the west, again, a wrapped up system moving on shore. Now, it's already bringing some rain and storms to Nevada and portions of southern Idaho and southeast sides of Oregon. When I throw on the enhanced satellite imagery, though, the largest chunk of this wrapped up low is still yet to move on shore. So that's what I'll be watching here in the next couple of days, is for this to move inland. Now, the interesting thing is, yes, it's going to bring some rain along the coastline, but there's no flooding right now expected. But look at these winter weather advisories all the way down into South California. Now look, the snow elevation is still going to be around 6,000, 5,000 feet, but you get the idea that still cold enough in the higher elevations to turn into some snow. Let's break down the model it's going to look like in the coming days and where we could have more active weather in the next day or two. First of all, we'll start off with the storms in the plains. And again, these supercells will kind of conglomerate during the evening and overnight hours and push off towards the east. Now, hopefully, as they get into Oklahoma, they're going to be more of a wind threat than anything, but still some isolated tornadoes are possible. Here's the problem, friends. Tomorrow, we could absolutely redevelop another line of storms in this same spot. This is another area that's going to have multiple rounds and days of severe storms. All of this energy will, of course, get kicked out towards the east. Now, the first round, again, will continue to go all the way into the northeast. Here comes the second round that'll be moving through tomorrow. So we get one wave of showers and storms along the eastern seaboard, and then a second wave that'll move into the Great Lakes and the Midwest as we get into tomorrow. And this will be a system, again, that will have the opportunity for at least some severe storms in those areas, but more concentrated in the southern plains. Now, again, this system, look at the curlicue wrapped up coming into southern coastline of California. On the northern side of that, of course, you get the colder air, the north winds, and there could be 4, 5, 6 inches of snow in some areas and wind gusts that could be 40 to 50 miles an hour. You want some really strong winds near Albuquerque over the next couple of days. They're actually going to have some winds of 40, 50, and even 60 miles an hour. So the severe weather risk for tomorrow is, again, East New Mexico, panhandle of Texas, slight risk now. That could be elevated to, or a marginal risk that it could be elevated to a slight or maybe even enhanced. And yes, a couple days out from now, it's basically all of the plains with a little bullseye over Nebraska, but all of this activity should also shift off towards the east. And when we look at the potential for precipitation totals in these areas, again, south of where that boundary is, 4, 5, 6 inches of rain, flooding concerns for Oklahoma, portions of Arkansas, southern sides of Mississippi, portions of the Panhandle of Texas, and then another secondary area for very heavy rain. But you clearly see that the central and the eastern half of the United States is going to get involved in some heavier rainfall totals, and then the snow potential here, again, in portions of the Sierra Nevadas. If you guys see those reds, that could be up to a foot of snow in some areas. Pretty amazing for this time of the year. Friends, I'm out of time. Appreciate you making Weather Express a part of your daily routine. Thank you for liking and subscribing to the channel. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I am back tomorrow with your latest 5-minute forecast.